All right, welcome back to We Talk Tech, everybody. Today we're talking about the exciting world of backup batteries.
Yes, I love batteries. They are and have been for my entire life a huge part of keeping me alive and keeping me active. And so I'm really excited that Technology for Living has this relatively new project to supply backup batteries. And Wayne is going to tell us all about the wonderful batteries that we're offering now.
That's right. So yeah, we've always had this kind of gap. So people who are on ventilators, prop ventilators, or any ventilators really, have internal batteries. People who use suctions, they have internal batteries. But people who use bilevels don't have internal batteries typically, like the air curves and some of the old system ones. And so Prop has decided to put a little project together. We got a little funding available for it, and we have a couple of backup battery systems we're able to provide, both on a short-term loan and long-term loan, depending on the member's needs. So it's exciting.
Definitely. So Wayne, what batteries are we offering?
Well, we have kind of two styles. So one, I mentioned the short-term loans. Typically, we're offering, well, any of them can be loaned short-term as long as you need it on a short-term loan. Usually traveling, or maybe you're going camping for a weekend, something like that. But we do have one called the Zopec Explorer 5700, and it is airline compliant. So you're allowed to take this on flights with you. It won't give you a ton of time. Like I think if you're using an air curve for a typical settings without a humidifier on, you might get 8 to 10 hours out of it. So it gives you a fairly good duration. Or if you have a power outage overnight, you'd probably get one night out of it. But again, that's with the humidifier off and fairly nominal settings. Um, so there's that one that's typically on a short-term loan. Usually people use it for traveling. Maybe they want to borrow it for a weekend to go camping, something like that. The other style we have is the Jackery here. So Jackery and EcoFlow, and these are more of a kind of leave it in your home kind of system. So your ventilator is always plugged into it, or your bilevel is always plugged into it. If your power goes out, this will kick in, and on those same settings without humidifier, you'd probably about 20 hours or a little over 20 hours of time on your bilevels. You might get a couple nights out of it. So there's the EcoFlow as well. And there's some differences we'll go through later on, but they typically do the same thing.
So for the Zopec, I've tried this one just for testing purposes, and I really love it. I think the size, especially, very compact. It has lots of ports. You can plug USB into it, AC. I think it's a very well built battery, and yeah, and the charging time wasn't bad either. Only a couple hours, if I remember correctly. So yeah,
So
I
yes,
think. Mhm.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you use that with your ventilator, right?
I did, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And how
with
much
the
time did
breeze.
you get? How much time did you get on that?
Shoot, I think it was around uh 12, 13 hours. I
With
think
with the ventilator battery as well,
yes.
in combination.
No, no, just for this battery.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and then I also have the two built-in batteries, or the removable battery and the internal battery for the vent as well. So for this upcoming trip in October, I'm not going to say much about it just yet, but I'm really excited to use it because it'll be a very long flight, and this is going to be a lifesaver for me.
Yeah, no kidding. They'll get you through a whole day with those three batteries, the two
Yes.
internals plus that. So Ian, you did mention the all the ports on the device, and typically you would use just the AC. That's the nice thing about this is that it's one of the only ones this size that has an actual AC plug on it. So you
Yes.
can use the same power cord you use to plug your vent into the wall and just plug it straight into the battery pack. So you don't need to find cables. You don't need to worry about broken cables. You just use what you normally use for the wall. There are some USB plugs for probably charging your phone or other small electronics. We don't provide it for that at Prop. But how you use this when you're traveling is kind of up to you. And then there's a small display here. It does say FF. That just means full, but it will run down and let you know how many percent you have left on the battery.
So are there any cons to that battery that you found so far?
Honestly, we've been comparing it to other batteries made specifically for bi-level devices on the market. And to be honest, there really isn't. The big pro to this is that you don't need specialized cables for it. Every other battery pack on the market that's made for bi-levels, you have to buy a special cable for the particular device you're using. So if that cable breaks, you've got to buy another one, or if you're changing from one bi-level device to another, you've got to buy another cable for it. So that's a big pro for this. And it's got the biggest battery you can have installed in it and still be FAA approved.
Right.
So
Right.
that's a big pro as well.
That is huge. And what about the Jackery? What are the pros and cons to that one?
Well, so we do have the two similar ones, the Jackery and EcoFlow. They're very similar. The Jackery, and to be honest, they both come in variations. So you can get huge Jackery batteries that kind of run your whole house if the power goes out. We're supplying one that will run your bi-level for a night or two. And so again, it's got your AC ports you can plug into. It's got your USB ports you can charge your phone or whatever else you need to. It's got a DC port, so a 12 volt DC port. If you do use maybe a vehicle adapter for your bi-level, you can use that on here as well. And then you've got the display, which shows the power you're using, nice little indicator showing how much you have left and a percentage you have left. The one thing I do like about the EcoFlow compared to the Jackery is that on the display, so it's a very similar layout. You've got your vehicle accessory port, your USBs, your AC power. But you'll notice this 83 up in the corner here. It actually tells you, once you start running your device, the approximate hours you have left, which the Jackery doesn't, which is nice. If you're out and you're breathing on your bi-level, you kind of get a sense of how long you have left before you need to plug in again. So I think that's a pretty nice feature to have. And the EcoFlow, even though the battery is a little bit smaller in it, gives you similar time running your bi-level, and it charges in about a third the time that the Jackery does. So it will do a full charge in an hour.
Nice. Yeah, it's amazing how compact they are. Like I think back to 20 years ago, and to run my ventilator even for half a day required these big, almost car batteries. And now you can do it from something small enough to place into a backpack, for example.
Yeah, no, lithium's a game changer, isn't it? It's made
Yeah.
everything nice and small and compact and gives you a ton of power.
So, how does it work? If somebody is interested in receiving one of these, whether it's on temporary for a trip or a longer term loan, how does it work?
Yeah, so typically the requests come into us through the prop RTs. So the respiratory therapists will often see members. I think it's once a year they'll see members, and we'll often get requests from those as they visit somebody and realize that they are using their bi-level for long periods throughout the day and most of the day. and maybe they're living in an environment or an area that gets prone to power outages, then they may recommend it. Or somebody that's a prop member can just call in and we'll run it past the RTs and make sure it's appropriate device for them. Make sure they need it. If somebody only uses their bi-level for 6 hours a day and has independent breathing the rest of the day, they may not be the most needy of a backup battery. But we'll let the RTs kind of look into that and decide. But it is for running your prop devices only. We don't supply them for any other reason. So don't go plugging your fridge into it once you get it. We really want you to save that power for your bi-level.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe for margaritas in the summer at the beach.
Yeah, margaritas or a beer fridge on the
Yeah,
beach.
exactly. Well, this is really cool. I'm really excited that that technology for living is offering additional services while funding is available, because I think the batteries have always been something that can limit your travels and also feeling safe. Like I remember living in Peachland as a kid. We constantly had power outages, and when I became ventilator dependent, that was a huge concern. And sure, we had a gas generator that was somewhat reliable, but it was always worrisome of, or is the gas fresh enough, or did it run out of gas? And so being able to just have something plugged in all the time, set it and forget it, and then when the power goes out, there's no interruption. Is so important.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing most of the requests for now is members who do live in areas where there are power outages. But like you mentioned, for travel, I mean, this batteries open up a lot of travel options for people. Not only the ones that get you on a flight, but you want to see BC, right? Some travel weekends throughout the summer. You want to go camping. You want to go to music festivals. Some people are interested in music festivals. It'd be a great option to take one of these along for the weekend and make sure you have enough power.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you so much, Wayne. Yeah. If anybody has any questions, please reach out to our team. And if you're eligible, then we'd be happy to send you one.